Here with Hawaii head coach Rich Hill after a 2-1 defeat on day 4 of the 2025 Big West Baseball Championship presented by Ontario International Airport. Coach, can you start us off with an opening statement, then we'll open the floor for questions.
Well, I'm just so proud of our guys. We're, down the line and in our culture, our seniors speak, when the last pitch is thrown, and it's, I like doing that, at the field. It's raw, there's some vulnerability, and it really represents what our culture, is really about, and it's family. It is pretty amazing, what these seniors have been able to do, from the time we got on campus 4 years ago to now. The on-field success speaks for itself. It's just, the young men, that these guys have become, so, and that's what people, I don't know if they get it about college athletics, and where it's going. It's about growth. It's about growth and development. It's about, these guys going out into their, community and just being pillars and being great fathers and great husbands, and learning the things through the game of baseball specifically, but really sports, that's going to enable them to put the gloves on and just kind of get after it in life. And that's what our culture is all about. I think that, in regards to the game, losing a 2-1 game, that, every team has a couple chances, specifically us. Back in that first inning, you go back to Freddie Rodriguez, who gave us 6 strong. It was just amazing. Ethan Thomas really coming of age, as you saw, 4 strikeouts, no walks. So there's a lot of great performances, and then the weekend as a whole. But we'll be able to reflect on that, and it'll feel a lot better, with time.
Questions?
Looked like Freddie was just the right choice today going against his former team, and it looked like the way he's been pitching. So near the end of the year, he's kind of rising to this occasion. What you think of?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. And I had a talk with Freddie before the game. Just about managing the moment. I know Cal Poly is, where he came from. He's got good friends on that team. The emotion, and he stopped me halfway through the conference. That coach, hey, I get it. I'm good. It's another outing. I'm focused on executing pitches, preparing right now. So that was a really good sign. And that's 3 pitches for strikes. Fastball's got enough giddy up on it, to really keep him honest with that good changeup. And he's really developed that slider. And I will say, under Coach Zuniga, all of our pitchers just have really developed. To throw a 2-1 game in the 4th game of what I consider a regional is pretty amazing. Their guy did the same thing, and it was a great battle. They came out on top.
Can you sum up kind of what the seniors said to the rest of the group about maybe just their raw emotions of this and what they wanted to pass on to the rest of the group?
Yeah, what the first word shot kind of comes through is just love, and I mean, as males, we don't want to say that word a lot, and we don't want to hug and show our emotions, but that's, the word that was used. And, be there for you, the rest of your life, and locked arms. It's the best year of my life. I've never had more fun. You guys are my brothers. So that deep connection theme, really comes through at a time like this.
How did this format change just the dynamic of the Big West this season?
With
the tournament?
It completely changed it, and in so many areas, in a positive way. I think that, like I said, this felt like a regional, and whoever gets out of this thing is going to be battle tested a little bit. The experience, of going into the cages 40 minutes before, no on-field BP, everybody staying at the hotel, trying to figure out your pitching, managing the pitching thing. It's just such a great experience, for the teams that are here. Now, the teams that got left out, it was great for them too, because, the Big West for so many years, it was whatever, Fullerton, Long Beach, Cal Poly, Santa Barbara, and whoever just kind of running away with it, right? Irvine. and the rest of us are like, well, we're gonna, finish the season. But this just gave all these student athletes just, playing to the last weekend. There were so many teams in it, and it was just exciting. I thought the Big West did a great job, of running this event. Tyler Huntley and his crew really worked hard. It seemed like it was 24/7. The communication was amazing. I thought Cal State Fullerton, the host, did a great job. But it felt like a regional, and that's, how it should feel. So the experience of championship baseball was felt by 5 different teams. Couldn't be more excited, more happy that we did it. Now we need to get that 6th team in. This needs to go to 6 teams, definitely. We'll vote on that in the fall. I'm not sure I'm crazy about the higher seed being the home team all the time. It's not like that in a regional, right? So that I would be a proponent, of that changing. But overall, just a little bit of tweaks, here and there, but first class experience.
What area, what do you want your group to focus on this offseason? What's the areas you want them to attack?
Well, like we always do, it's just development, and everybody's different. Everybody has a blueprint. That's what makes us unique at Hawaii. I don't know unique, but, there's an individualized plan for every guy. Summer ball is a huge piece of our development, especially for the position players. So they're all, going out and just learning how to play the game of baseball. We can do box jumps and we can do squats and we can throw balls as hard as we can into a net. But playing the game of baseball, every night, for the lacrosse loggers or the Portland Pickles, or the Orleans Firebirds, really just shoot your development, through the roof. Look at Itsuki this year, Ben Ziegler, Namoa. So, development.
I've got one final question.
Yes, sir.
This year, fan attendance was phenomenal at home. You had a really good showing every time you came to the mainland. You got a message for the fans? Just, whatever you want to say to them and what you want to say moving forward with the team.
Well, to the fans, there's no adjectives of how great the Hawaii fans are, how they showed out this year, with all of those sellouts. Even if they weren't sellout, it was near sellout. I can't explain what that means to our guys. The experience on the West Coast, it's the best. Oregon State comes close, maybe, and we'll experience that next year. Just because I want to go see it, just to, see how they compare to us. But just amazing. The passion for baseball, obviously, is there. The knowledge that our fans have, the appreciation, for good baseball, on both teams. It's just remarkable. It's a throwback, and I'm just very, very appreciative, full of gratitude.
What's the future hold for Freddie? What's the plan for him? Is he a potential weekend guy for you next year?
Yeah, I think all those guys are. I'd like to start Mags this summer. He'll go out to the Cape a little bit later. Freddie will be out there a little bit later as well. But you saw it today. Those guys, we all want to see if they can start. So Mags, Cooper Walls, Freddie Rodriguez, Ethan Thomas. We'll figure out what the best role is. But the future's bright on our pitching staff for sure.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.